It's time to go short track racing in the Target Series here at the Bristol Motor Speedway for the Food City 300. And on the pole is the 44 TJ Hanley trying to turn around a horrible start to the season he's had. Just outside the 22 of Luke Ring, a past winner here at Bristol in Target and Gary Cup Series. Then 30 of Alex Stewart, 4th Jonathan Wong, and Marshall Burrow rounds out the top 5. In 6th you have Eli Bright, 7th is Andrew Miller, 8th is Alexander Rowe, in 9th you have Gustavo Rocha, and Steve Larker rounds out the top 10. For the rest you have Landon Lyons and Adam McDowell. Then there's William Bolin and Bill Seaman, Colton Yo and Lawrence Palampon. They have Michael Canto and Johnny Gardner, Jake Galloway, and there's Code Luigi. They have Max Anderson and Jake Jefferson. There's your points leader Jonathan Beeford with Joey Trickle in the 25. They have Danny Lloyd and Greg Lee, William Seaman and Anthony Lehman, Riley Sprayly-Tube and Jeff Bright, Michael Sanders and Charles Robert, Trey Rainey and Justin Knight. Then there's Carson Bowers and Sebastian Kukulon. He's second in points. They have Clayton Thomas and Isaac Nichols, 2 teammates. They have Stephen Baker and Jennifer Buford. And in the final row, you have Diego Yepez and Matt Hamill for your 42 car starting lap here for the Food City 300. Let's go to track and get the command to fire the engines.
On behalf of the many great folks at Bass Pro Shops, Tracker, and MB&A, gentlemen, start your engines!
Business as usual today, buddy. Nice and easy. Your seatbelt's a little tucked forward, buddy. You're ready to rock and roll. Buddy, be ready here now. Fill that thing out real good here for the first lap or so. Make sure you got a good feel for it.
To the restart zone, we're green at Bristol. Hanley gets away as they battle for second behind. Alex Stewart gets by Luke Ray in the 22, who slides up the racetrack. TJ Hanley leads lap 1 by a mile as they come down the backstretch now. Marshall Burrow trying to take over that 3rd position from Luke Ray, starting to fade back in the outside lane, but he has a hole behind that 4th. He get down low, but Miller comes to take that hole and fill it. He's going now for 4th in the 52 car, but now there will be a hole behind that 52 in front of the 01. If Luke can get down there, it looks like he'll be able to. So Luke Ray from 2nd back to 5th. Here by starting in the outside lane. That's something, but talking to some of the drivers this weekend, they said they really wanted to get an inside row start position, an odd starting position, because even though if you start back in the, say, 17th position, you can work your way up inside the top 10 if enough people on the outside lane fall back, and that's what we're seeing right here. Eli Bright, Jonathan Wong are falling back. Alexander Rowe, they're outside the top 10. Jonathan Buford, who started just about 25th, he's made his way up, and now he's put to the top lane by Greg Lee in the 6th. And Lee got a great run right there. He's going to get by the 41. Eli Bright started, 6th? Now he's back outside the top 15 about. Jonathan Wong started inside the top 5. He's back to 14th battling, trying to get ahead of Greg Lee and Alexander Rowe. Jay Jefferson's worked up to 12th, Cole Luigi 11th. There's a battle for 9th, and then on up. Pretty spread out the front as TJ Hanley has pulled a nice gap. This is one of my favorite camera angles that we'll see this season. From the front stretch of Bristol, you can see all the way around the racetrack. Definitely a beautiful camera angle that we have here. Hanley out front by a good distance over Alex Stewart. And, TJ Hanley doesn't really want to remember these memories that he's had, but here at Bristol he's had memories with the guy he started actually on the front row with. TJ Hanley and Luke Ring were teammates back in season number 2, and battling for the race win they were, and Luke put TJ in the wall and ended up winning the race because of a caution coming out just a few laps after that. Hanley right now leading, Luke Ring is 5th. But I'm sure that maybe Hanley didn't forget about that. Maybe made sure they got away from that 22 on the start. Caution is out. Yellow. They had wrecked in 1 and 2. Diego Yepez. They wrecked off of the corner. It looks like the 8 of Matt Hamill went around. So caution is out on lap number 10 here at Bristol. TJ Hanley leading. And in 2nd, it was the 46. And now we'll see if Matt Hamill can get by without causing a scene right here. If he can just get low and get by, I think he'll be able to do that right here. So Hamill will get by, trying to get his lap back, or maybe he'll just come down pit road. Oh, someone just hit the wall. Someone may have hit the wall. Could have just been... No, Jonathan Beefer has some side damage on the 41. 39 has some damage to Lawrence Palampon. Jennifer Beefer looks like may have some front end damage, so this could have started towards the middle of the pack right here. Maybe Jeff Bright, Clayton Thomas has some rear end damage. The 24 Charles Robert has some damage. And Hamill's going to get in line right here in the 41st position. Someone might be out, actually. The 23's out because of a header. I don't know if that originated from this or not. So we'll just see what happened. Bring out this caution. Yepez, one of them involved, he's done for the day. So we had 2 incidents. This first one was with Clayton Thomas and Diego Yepez. As going off into the corner, The 0 rams into the back of the 5, spins the 5 around, and gets the 0 in the process. Gardner does a great job missing it, but then they're trying to miss it, and they're 4 wide exit right there, and the apron is the 23, or the 24, excuse me. I think he comes up, and he's going to get the 18 and get into the 8 right there. Gardner gets sideways, but does a great job keeping it straight. He got some damage, but it's not going to be a lot. He got some quarter damage right there, so tough break for some of these drivers. They're out. The 23, the issue on him was unrelated to what happened. He's had a header issue. And the issue to the 41 was unrelated because right there he had damage. So the 5 got slow as they came off the corner a little loose. The 0 then drives it hard to the corner, wrecks the 5. And then going by the scene, the 24, the 18 makes some contact. They get Matt Hamill with nowhere to go. So tough break for those drivers involved. Most are going to be able to continue on. But TJ Hanley did not want to see that. He had a pretty good lead. Now he's going to have Alex Stewart and some others on his back bumper for this restart that's going to come with Hanley out front. Going back green lap number 15. Stefan Baker is out, along with Diego Yepes from that crash. And the 8 cars a lap down, 40 of 39 cars on the lead lap. TJ Hanley leads to the restart with Alex Stewart and Marshall Burrell, your top 3. We're back racing. Hanley once again, another great jump. He wanted to make sure that Stewart could not get to his bottom lane. Look at Burrell, he might be looking for second right here. It's like Colton Yeo may have been shoved to the top side. The 8 of Matt Hamill is slow with damage. As the 52 of Miller kind of got caught there, but Luke Ray gets, 98 way up the racetrack. Bill Seaman into the outside wall, but they're 3 wide. Jay Jefferson, Colton Yeo are down low underneath that 98. This could be a crash. 3 wide doesn't usually work here. They're making it work so far. Some contact into turn number 3. And they sort it out. But Seaman could lose a ton of spots. Yeo is losing spots. Jay Jefferson finds his way inside the top 10. So up front, stayed the same. Hanley leads with Stewart, Burrow, Miller, Rainey, your top 5. Then Arocha, Lyons, Canto, Luigi, and Jefferson rounding out the top 10. Alexander Rose 11th. Greg Lee's now up to 12th. Caution is back out. Caution number 2 is out. And it may have been for the 3 of Anthony Lehman, although he is not where the incident was. Steve Larker and Sebastian Kukla on second, and points were involved. There's Michael Sanders, William Bolin coming into the pits. Caution number 2. Cautions, precautions. They wrecked in turn number 3 this time. So we'll see what happened. Second in points, Sebastian Kukla has some pretty heavy rear end damage. Here's the reason for the yellow flag. 3 wides, they come off turn number 2. Sebastian Kukla making a big move, trying to gain spots, trying to get as many points as he can, and he's going to end up losing points right here. He gets up into the 74. He's not given the 74 lap room, then turns Bolin down towards the inside into the apron. They go. 74 shoots back up into the wall. The 20 shoots back up into the 11. There's Steve Larker with nowhere to go. And McDowell gets on the brakes. There's Buford, your points leader, getting some damage for driving on by. Robert gets damaged. There's Danny Lloyd driving by. Jeff right through the middle of it. There's some big names involved in that. So I think the 3 was just coming off pit road maybe. And that's, yeah, he was just coming off pit road. So he probably had some sort of issue. But that's a big crash right there. So look at this in real time. Then go on board with a few drivers that were involved. It's Kukla on. Going to take a hit in points here. Your second coming into the day. Bolin going to take another hit as well. He's not really had a great race this season. He's back in the 30s in points, so he wanted a good race here today, and he's not going to get it. So he's in pit road with some pretty heavy damage. So go on board Kukla on, see what he saw from his point of view. Pretty heavy damage is what he saw, I think. The one of Jeff Bright sneaks his way through. That's your Season 1, Season 4 champion of the series. He does a great job just getting it slowed down enough to where you can get through the middle of it and miss it. Then we'll go on board the 41, Jonathan Buford, your points leader coming in to this race. He gets some damage, but he's able to drive away. Right here, he'll just hit the 51 a little, get some side damage, but he drives away, and Buford's still in this thing and can gain points now. Kukla, who's going to be behind him. TJ Hanley once again got a monstrous restart, but he's going to have to deal with another restart. He does have a lap car in between he and second place. Hanley going to lead us back to the green flag once again. Coming back to the restart, lap number 24, TJ Hanley out front, and Michael Sanders and William Bolin have retired from the crash. The 3 of Anthony Lehman is 2 laps down. Matt Hamill's a lap down still. Sebastian Kukla on last car in the lead lap in 36th. As Hanley with the race lead, Alex Stewart and Marshall Burrell, your top 3. The 3 in second in line is a lap car. Hanley has some bad memories of lap cars here at Bristol. He was going to win the Gary Cup Series race, and on a restart with about 5 to go, he got passed by a lap car that put him up to the outside lane, and he fell back. And now look at Lehman. He's right on the bumper of Hanley. Hanley doesn't want to give this up. He wants that 46 to get right beside the 3. And Alex Stewart washed up the track now. Burrow up the track. Here comes Andrew Miller as the 4 got to the outside wall. And now Burrow going to fall back. His teammate goes on by him. The car going down pit road. It's the 19 Jake Galloway. He had some sort of issue. The 4 continuing to phase. Luigi going to try and fill that spot to move up to the 8th position. The 90 now getting underneath the 01. So the 2 teammates right there moving back. The 01 and the 4. And up front, Hanley pulls away from that 3 car with Alex Stewart still 2nd. And now your new 3rd place man is Andrew Miller. Luke Ray up to 4th. Landon Lyons is 5th there. 3 wide back here. Jay Jefferson, Luigi make a move. 28 has to back off there to allow the 42 back down line. Luigi gains another spot. He's up to 7th. Jay Jefferson up to 8th. Wong up inside the top 10. The 00 loose off the corner. As there's smoke on the front stretch, someone may have blown up. A lot is happening. The 24 has damage with Charles Robert, but we stay green. Now the yellow's coming out. They wrecked them in 1 and 2. Now these leaders have to be careful. TJ has to be careful here. He has to get low. He has to get high. Just get away from the damage cars. He does do just that. Cautions breed cautions. Caution number 3. Here at Bristol, I think it all started from the 24. He's on pit road with damage, and it just stacked up from there. So we'll see what happened to Charles Robert. Oh my gosh, so many cars in pits. I believe this is where it started. Charles Robert coming off of turn number 4. He has Ann McDowell behind him. McDowell's trying to get a few spots here, trying to get by some of the damaged cars, more damaged cars than he is. He gets into Robert and spins him down to the inside wall hard. The 24 then sideways on the apron, but the yellow's not going to come out right here. He's on the apron. He's off the racing surface. The yellow never comes out. And that's something that maybe they should have thrown the yellow for, because I think some people reacted to what they were seeing, and then they kind of stacked them up from there. So the leader's gone by what happened. Right there, Hanley goes on by. But then they stack them up again. Oh. That's why the 33. Oh, there's Kukulon going up and nailing the outside wall. The 41 is involved. So how... Oh, same exact thing, actually. The 6'2 Buford may move on Carson Bowers, spun them into the inside wall, and then they shot back up the racetrack. The 7, the 8 hit hard. The 18 gets involved. The 25, there's Kukulon going up. There's the 16 spin. The 41 spinning into the crash. Oh my goodness. Kukulon gets more damage than the 20 car. He actually drives away, though, before Buford does in the 41 car. Jeff Bright once again does another great job. The 20 just got clipped right there up into the outside wall, and that could be a day ender right there. He has some pretty heavy damage. Kukulon does. Jeff Bright once again missed another one. He has an onboard camera, and he gets by. Great job getting by, and that's a few positions right there for cars that may retire from this crash. Jennifer Buford involved in the 62 car, last season's Target Series champion involved. And one of the first to go around as well. And the 33, and there they go down to the inside wall, and then they shoot back up and get hit hard right there. Buford up off the ground. That's a pretty tough impact right there for Jennifer Buford, and her day most likely done. We'll also go on board with the 41 of Jonathan Buford, who slid into this crash. Your points leader getting involved in another one. Top 2 in points, not had a great day. Kukulon and Buford, and right here they both get involved in this crash. Buford get with slightly less damage, but he still hits pretty hard on the side right there. He spins into the 16. And then one more, TJ Hanley. Let's see what he saw through his visors. He has the visor cam starting on pole, leading this race, and he sees this as he leads them back to the caution flag. He's racing back to the yellow right here. He wants to slow down, though, make sure he doesn't really get involved. And right here, look away. He's seeing, he's like, gosh, where do I go? He's sideways. He's trying to make sure no one hits him from behind. He has a great job getting through. So TJ Hanley still with this race lead and trying to dominate and lead every lap here in the Food State 300. The other drivers making it tough, though, as they keep causing accidents, throwing yellows. Hanley leads back to the green flag. Going back green here on lap number 34. As from that crash, Carson Bowers, Charles Robert, Matt Hamill, the 7 of Isaac Nichols, Steve Larker, Jennifer Buford, Jake Galloway, Jeff Bright, Anthony Lehman, I believe are all out. Maybe some of those are just lap cars. 29 cars on the lead lap, though. TJ Hanley back out front. He leads us back to the green flag. 12 laps left here at Bristol. Hanley got a pretty good start there. Once again, got away from the 3. The 46 and the 52 might be down for second right here. It's Andrew Miller has come to life here up inside the top 3. He's trying to get to the second position. Luke Ray trying to regain lost ground from the start of the race. Landon Lyons rounds out the top 5. Look at the 22 on Andrew Miller. Miller slipped a little bit. Rainey couldn't take advantage. Wong up the racetrack. Burrow will get by. Burrow was second, remember. Now he's just inside the top 10 at what I believe is now 9th. So he just got by Wong for that 9th position. So he had fallen quite a bit there. Single file at the front. Hanley leads the train around. front 8, single file, back to Jay Jefferson in the 28 car. Hanley wants to see no more yellow flags as Joey Trickle coming off the pits. He wants to get ahead of that 25, obviously, before that 25 comes up and causes something. Right there, Trickle back up to the racetrack, and this could hurt Michael Canto. Actually, as Canto gets shuffled to the high side. But Trickle is slower in that 25 car with that damage. But Canto, if Coluigi splits 3 wide, can that 14 get clear? Tons of contact! Down to Coluigi, but they save their cars, and Luigi might be able to gain the 6th position from what's happening right here. Jay Jefferson just wants to follow that 42 through. We only got 7 laps left. Still tons of time for something to happen. Stewart gets by the 3 of Lehman, who got into the wall pretty hard. Has some pretty heavy right side damage. That's slowing Andrew Miller up. 2 cars pull away. Miller's on the apron. Can Luke Rainey or Landon Lyons take advantage? Rainey might try and go to the outside right here. Yeah, Miller got really slowed up once that 3 got into the wall, really reacting to that and couldn't control his car there. Back here, it's a knot of cars. Jay Jefferson and Michael Canto have been shoveled to the high side. 2 teammates of Rocha and Burrow are coming by as we got 5 laps left. Up front, Hanley leads Alex Stewart. Stewart just a tick faster that last time by, but he would need to gain a ton, and then he has to find a way around the 44 if he catches him. Damage cars coming off and on pit road. Hanley, 4 to go. Yellow would end it. Stewart up the racetrack, though, that 46 car. Up the racetrack, but trying to gain ground. Front 5 have pulled away from 6th on back. Luigi, then Burrow. Greg Lee's found himself inside the top 10. Bill Seaman and Eli Bright made great gains. Remember, they both dropped back pretty heavily at the start of this race. And here comes Seaman for 10th. Eli's going for 11th right here. So great rebounds by those two. But here comes C2 to go. And all the focus is on Hanley and Stewart. Hanley has caught lap traffic. Stewart will get by in the 46. And the guy who's dominated this race gets stuck behind Kukulon, and now in the middle of a 3-1, they're wrecking down the backstretch. Hanley involved, and the yellow will come out. Miller into the outside wall. Luke Rainey into the outside wall, and that will end it with Alex Stewart in victory lane. That's controversial. That's certainly controversial. Alex Stewart gonna win it here at Bristol, and Hanley, who dominated, leading basically 43 laps, will end up second. Landon Lyons, Luke Rainey, and Andrew Miller both gone to the outside wall. They'll fall back. The 42 I see nowhere on the racetrack. Some of these drivers may have gotten into it. Is that the 42 I see in pit? I can't tell where anyone is at this point. The 4 is in pit, the 42 has some damage. So a lot happened there. But Alex Stewart wins. We'll have to see what happened. We'll see what happened to Hanley, how we got caught behind the 20. As my gosh, a lot happened there. Kukulon was just way off pace here, trying to just keep it in the race, get every position he could. The 44 is coming with a full head of steam. Kukulon goes up the track, the 44 follows him up. And now the 46 gets underneath the 44. Hanley's going to try and split the middle right here, try and get by and think maybe he try and catch Stewart again. But the 20 gets into the 44, down to the 3. They spin around. Hanley and some others get involved. Right there, Kukulon, hard into Luigi and Marshall Burrow. So that's where that's how a lot of those drivers lost or gained positions right there. And that's a heartbreaker for so many of these drivers that run inside the top 10. You get ruined because of a day with a lap car, especially if you're Hanley. You dominate this race. You've come so close here at Bristol in any series here. You got punched out of the way by your teammate in Season 2 in the Target Series. In Season 5, I think it was, of the Gary Cup Series, you lost because of lap traffic. Last season in the Gary Cup Series, you were so close but got passed late. And then some of these drivers like Luigi, Marshall Burrow, and some others just trying to have good races, and then they get involved. We have a lot of onboard cameras to show you. Sebastian Kukulon with an onboard. And we'll see what happened from his onboard. See Stewart going by, and 3 wide, and around he goes. They get hit right there. Luigi really had nowhere to go. That 20 came right back across the racetrack. And then right here, some cars are going to get slowed down, trying to miss it. And some go flying around the outside and gain a ton of positions from that. Some drivers get a top 10 out of a day where they maybe shouldn't have. TJ Hanley both has an onboard and the visor camera. So we'll look from the onboard first and see the frustration on this 44. Stewart goes around. I don't know if Hanley's maybe just showing some frustration right here and he never lifted, so obviously he wasn't going to care if that 20 cut across his nose or not. And then right there, obviously trying to avoid the 20 comes up against Miller and Luke Rainey to the wall. And now we'll look at that visor cam from TJ Hanley, the guy who's dominated this race. He's going to lose it here late with about 2 laps to go. Right here, he leads with 2 to go, but Stewart's going to blaze right around him right here in that 46 car. Gets low, gets by. And Hanley down to the 20 into the 3, and it's on from there. Gets into the 52, the 22 gets in the wall, and Landon Lyons gets the top 3 out of that because of where he was when all that happened. But it's Alex Stewart staying in victory lane with that trophy. He wins the Food Save 300 at Bristol. Let's go check the finishing results. Here are the finishing results from the Food Save 300 at Bristol. There were 4 caution flags for 16 laps. There was only 1 lead change among 2 different drivers, and Alex Stewart brings on with the victory. Starting third, he led 2 laps, the last 2, to get to victory lane. TJ Hanley has to have the heartbreak at this racetrack, just down, period. Led 43 of the 45 laps, started on the pole, and loses in the last 2 laps because of lap cars. Landon Lyons up third, Luke Rainey 4th, and Andrew Miller rounds out the top 5. Greg Lee in 6th, Gustavo Rocha 7th, Jay Jefferson 8th, and Michael Canto 9th, and Bill Seaman brings on with the top 10. So there's your top 20. And I think if you're any other driver besides Alex Stewart, you're pretty frustrated with how Sebastian Kuklin kind of raced the leaders there. Not only did he get dumped by the leaders, he cost Hanley the win. That's why Hanley's mad at him. Then he gets dumped. It cost Luke Rainey and Andrew Miller some positions. Eli Bright fell some positions there. And some others fell positions, like Jonathan Buford gained some, but Colton Yule fell some. Alexander Rowe fell some. A lot of these drivers are going to be pretty ticked off at some of these lap cars, I can tell already. Burrow has to be pretty ticked off. He was involved in that final crash. Cole Luigi has to be ticked off. He was running 6th at the time. He ends up 25th because of the damage he's sustained. And only 34 cars finished the race running. The rest all out because of crash damage or a mechanical issue. And now let's go see how the point standings are shaking up. Well, that was an insane Bristol race, and here are the points. Jonathan Buford keeps that points lead, but it's only by 12 points now. Andrew Miller's close in 12 points back. He's second in points. Michael Canto's third. Sebastian Kuklon falls to 4th, and Lawrence Pound rounds out the top 5. They have Landon Lyons in 6th. Eli Bright is 7th. Joey Trickle in 8th. Clayton Thomas 9th, and Matt Hamill rounds out the top 10. So there's your top 20. Some of these drivers really had bad days at Bristol, but we're getting to that point in the season now where you can have a bad race or two, fall a few positions, but you're not going to fall 15 positions, I guess. You'll only fall about 5 or so. We're getting to that point in the season now where you have to start to make moves in the points any way you can. Some of these drivers down here not having the seasons they want. Carson Bowers, William Bullen, Justin Knight, Riley Spurley, Charles Robert, Alexander Luigi, Jennifer Buford, TJ Hanley. Thought he had a win in the bag here at Bristol. He's up to 41st in points now, but he just wanted that victory here today. He just could not get it done. So the next race will be another short track, the Nike 300 at Iowa. I'll see you guys then.